What is up, car addicts? So now that we have a trailer and know a lot more about the new 2024 summer DLC, a lot of you guys have been asking me to make a video as to how much the content in this new Bottom Dollar Bounties update is going to cost. So in this video to make some predictions and estimates based on the current GTA economy and the prices of similar recent content as well. So this video will be broken up into a few parts: the properties, cars, upgrades, weapons, and of course the clothing. So let's start off with the properties. We of course have the brand new Bottom Dollar Bail Enforcement business, which is located right here on the map. Now we're not sure if there's going to be other locations close to other police stations like this one is. However, this business also features an upgradable to Class A burrito van, which will most likely be called the Burrito Custom, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be part of the property as an upgrade when you buy it. The building does have a garage door on the side, so it's pretty obvious that the van will most likely be stored and customized in there, and it's probably going to have a gun locker upgrade, sleeping quarters upgrade, etc. as usual. So for this bail enforcement business, I'm going to estimate about 4 to 5 million for this one depending on the upgrades. I don't see it costing more than 6 million with the van and everything fully upgraded. Moving on to the vehicles, at the time of this recording, we have 8 new vehicles that have been teased by Rockstar, but obviously if we exclude the aforementioned business van, it would be 7. So let's start off with the new police car variants, and then we'll work our way to the normal cars. So for those of you who don't know, all the new police cars that have been teased are variants of cars we already have in game. So we have the Bravado Greenwood police car, the Declasse Impaler SZ police car, and the Bravado Dorado police SUV. Now, a lot of players in the community are thinking and hoping Rockstar would just let us upgrade our existing cars to those police variants, but I highly doubt that based on what they did with the Gauntlet Interceptor in the last DLC, and they obviously want us to spend as much money as possible. It's Rockstar we're talking about here, so I'm 99% sure we're going to make these new cop cars a separate thing you buy from the Warstock website. So for those of you who remember the Chop Shop DLC update from last December, we got 3 new cop cars, the 2 Staineers, which were priced at roughly $4 million without the trade price, and the Gauntlet Interceptor, which was priced at over $5 million without the trade price, making it the most expensive non-weaponized car in the game. So Rockstar essentially found a clever way to charge you over 5 times the price of the normal variant, just because it has cop car mods, lights, and goes wee woo, but nonetheless, I do believe these will cost less than the Gauntlet Interceptor, closer to the price of the cruisers. So I'm going to estimate about 4 to 4.5 million for each one of these, and there's 3 new ones confirmed. So figure about $13 million just in these 3 cop cars. Just wild. Anyways, moving on to our normal cars, we have 4 confirmed at the time of this recording. Starting off with the Overflot Pipistrello. This is a supercar based on the Estrema Flumania, which is an electric hypercar with over 2,000 horsepower in real life. If we look at the last couple DLC supercars we've gotten, Rockstar has been pretty consistent pricing them at just under $3 million, so I would expect the same thing for this car. However, I do have a feeling this one is going to offer HSW upgrades, which will most likely add another $1 million to the car, so this car is basically going to cost you about $4 million with all the upgrades. Moving on to our second normal car, we have the Bulacan sports car based on the Hyundai Envision 74. In real life, it's a hydrogen electric hybrid, so it's most likely going to be an electric car in GTA Online, and I think the best comparable vehicle price-wise to this is going to be the La Cruz, which was priced at just under $2 million. So I would expect roughly the same price for this one, about $2 million. Moving along to our third normal car, we have the new Enos Sports Coupe based on the Bentley Molinor Bator. This one is not going to be cheap. In real life, it's an exclusive limited production Bentley, which only 18 of them were ever made, and they cost about $2 million each. So yeah, very expensive. I think this one's going to be priced similarly to the Stinger TT, which is about $2.4 million. So this new Enos sports car, I'm going to estimate about $2.3 million. And lastly, for our fourth normal car, we have the new Benefactor sedan, which we saw on the cover art. This one is based on various Mercedes sedans from the late 80s and early 90s, notably the W124 and the W201. We won't know for sure until we see the back end of the car, the upgrades, etc., but I'm sure it's going to have some upgrades to make it look like the AMG Hammer, the 190E, etc. If Rockstar gets the upgrades right, I think this is going to be a very, very cool vehicle for sure. But anyways, in regards to pricing, if we look at the last DLC, just looking at normal sedans like the Impaler LX and the Impaler SZ, those were roughly 1.3 to 1.4 million. This is obviously going to be a lot more expensive than that, being, a luxury car. I'm going to estimate about 1.6 million for this benefactor sedan. Now, we also have to factor in the upgrades for all these 8 vehicles. Usually it costs about 400 to 500,000 to max out a car if they don't have any HSW or Monitech. So I'm going to estimate about 4 million to fully upgrade all 8 of these new vehicles. Moving on to the weapons. We don't have any new weapons confirmed at the time of this recording. Throughout the trailer, the newswire, etc., the main weapon we see being showcased is the stun gun, but typically Rockstar does sneak in 1 or 2 weapons in these DLCs as drip feed or whatever, and they're normally priced between 300 to 400,000, so I'm going to estimate about 600,000 here in possible weapon additions with upgrades. And lastly, in terms of clothing, we usually get a few different articles of clothing for each DLC, and usually the outfits are the more expensive ones, especially the ones that are priced to like 100,000 each. So I'm going to estimate about $1 million to buy all the potential new clothes and accessories. So based on what we've been shown so far, the grand total I'm estimating for this Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC is between 30 to 35 million to buy and max out every single item in the update on day 1. Now, in terms of the drip feed content, obviously every DLC we have drip feed content. We're going to have about 8 or 9 more vehicles, as Rockstar typically releases a total between 15 to 18 vehicles. So we have 8 confirmed so far. If we add another 10, you can pretty much add another $20 million to that with upgrades and everything. So that's going to make the grand total for the entire DLC between 50 to $55 million, which I know sounds crazy, but those police cars are no joke price-wise, and that's where a large chunk of the money is coming from. Rockstar's economy in GTA is very broken as well, as we all know, so I think this is a pretty solid estimate. So again, guys, definitely try to get as much money as you can for this DLC. And either way, if you plan on maybe only buying just 1 cop car, the new business, and maybe 2 or 3 of the normal day 1 cars, you can comfortably still enjoy this update with about 20 million. Anyways, guys, hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.